I am Jillian, and I'm here with Ms. McKinsey.
Hi.
So I have a few questions for you.
Okay.
So tell us about your journey from registered nurse to becoming a life coach. What inspired you?
I've been a registered nurse taking care of pediatric clients for almost 30 years. I've worked in the hospital for a couple of years, but mostly it's been in home care. So children who are medically fragile, special needs that are at home but require nursing so their parents can go to work. So nursing in the home is usually either nighttime or daytime, and then the parents will take care of the child in the evening. So being in the home for 30 years, I got to see how the parents were having so many other issues besides just taking care of the child, just balancing family life and, working full-time jobs, relationships, balancing the other children, grocery shopping, laundry, on top of taking all the kids to the doctor's appointments and making time for themselves to go to doctor's appointments. So when I noticed that where they were struggling, I would, kind of step in. And then I decided a couple years ago to become a life coach so that I could help other kids, other families that needed it, not just the ones that I take care of in my nursing role.
Okay. And that's what transitioned for you over, because your bio says that you help, you prioritize struggling mothers specifically?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah, because of just my experience of being in the home and watching the mother struggle. Now, of course, fathers struggle too, because they're also a parent and they also need help. But in my experience, the fathers are less to come to me to ask for help, even though I offer when I see something. But there are a lot of mothers that carry a lot of the weight on their shoulders, and yeah, I just decided that they needed extra help. Of course, if there's a father that needs help, I would help them. But yeah, you just go to where you see most of the need.
They find it just easier for mothers to come to you instead of fathers?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And your bio also talks about your mission for Find Your Balance coaching. How did you get into that?
Well, becoming a life coach for the parents, it was just, I decided what was missing was they had no balance in their life, just trying to manage all the different areas. And that's what made me come up with that. So when I meet somebody, I might be jumping ahead, but when I meet someone, I kind of just a question, just see, how are you doing? Have you gone to the doctor? Because a lot of parents, they don't make time for themselves to, go to their routine, even yearly appointments, because they make sure their children go to the doctor. The ones who are sick have a lot of appointments. And then, just getting their nails done, getting their hair done. There's a lot of things that we need to make ourselves well-balanced. Eating right, finding time to exercise, even meditating, praying, whatever it is that, you would need to do to be balanced, they're missing. So I try to help them find time to just organize their time so that they can be more balanced. And yeah, it just helps you. It helps to decrease stress, for sure.
To just to decompress and stuff?
Yeah, it's just finding the time. I think, there's 24 hours in a day. You're meant to sleep for 8 hours, so then you get 16 hours, and, what do you do with those 16 hours? So trying to find a time to not get so overwhelmed. You can't do it all at once. You have to kind of spread it out. But some people, you're trying to do too much at one time.
And my next question for you is, can you just take me through your life coaching process? How does it differ between clients? Are the processes similar when dealing with different challenges, like anxiety versus coping with the recent loss?
Yeah. Well, if they come to me, I, just ask the basic questions, why are they coming? Because life coaching is a little bit different from like a therapist. Like therapy, they deal with a lot of mental health, emotional health, and things that happened in the past, where life coaching is more helping you with your goals to move forward. But of course, when you're helping somebody with their goals to move forward, you're still, in a way, you have to deal with all those other, emotional, mental health type questions. So I do a questionnaire, and then I also, have you heard of the life balance wheel?
I don't believe so.
It's like a wheel with like 8 or however many different sections, and like one section would be like family, work, relationships, mental health, emotional health. And, I have them fill that out, and then I'll see where they're lacking, like a 0 to 10. Where do you see yourself in your emotional health? And then, with career, where do you see yourself between 0 to 10? And then the ones that are lowest, that's the ones that we work on and say, what can we do to make this better?
You mentioned therapy. Is that often the first step? Or?
Is it?
You mentioned therapy just now. Is that often like the first step? Do you give?
It depends. If the parents have a lot of, like you had mentioned, anxiety or depression, then I would recommend them to a therapist. But even some of the things I do will help with that. It's just like coping skills and different strategies to help with managing your day can help with your anxiety because. When you're anxious, you're so worried. It means you're mostly worried about the future, where depression is, you're stuck a little bit in the past. So, it's good to work together, to help you to grow.
And what are some of the more common blocks and challenges that you come across?
First, of course, people not wanting to get help. A lot of people, they just suffer in silence or think that the craziness of their life, the stress of their life is just normal. But it shouldn't have to be that way. People get tired from all the things that they have to do is normal. So the first step is get them coming for help. And then after that, I might give my strategies and techniques and things for them to do, kind of like homework. And then not everybody wants to do the homework. They get, home and, they want the help and then trying to find the time to do the homework. So then that's where I come in to kind of keep them accountable. And that's why, it's good to meet with them every week, every other week. And when they know someone is going to say, as you know, being in school, did you do your homework? Then that kind of pushes them because they know in a week or two I'll be asking them. So that, if one of the strategies that I'm giving them is to, find some time in your day to meditate or to journal or even to pick up the phone and call a friend for 10 minutes, like something to do for themselves, then it'll push them, even if they do it a couple of days before they meet me, but they're doing it. So, that's the biggest block.
So, upside down. How do these blocks typically develop in life? Are they easily preventable?
I think, everyone has a childhood, right?
Yeah.
And, were you organized as a child? Did you pick up your toys when you were a kid? And then it just kind of continues on to when you're an adult, because then when you're adult, you have not just a bedroom, not just toys to pick up. You have, a whole house to pick up. You have a whole house to manage. So if you struggle with managing, basic things when you were younger, it's harder, when you get older. So that's something, I guess, from the past. And just dealing with your emotions, how people deal with things. Either they talk about it or they internalize it and, just get angry. Kids can get angry a lot and stomp on their feet. But then, of course, you want them to be able to talk about that. But some adults never, don't get to that point where they learn to open up and talk about it. So.
Yeah. What about blocks that arise from not childhood, but a little later, like teens or young adults?
Yeah, teens go through all different emotions for sure, and the one that I was talking about, not talking, is a big one, because everybody isn't just fine. They say I'm fine, I'm good, but they don't really talk about what is really bothering. And sometimes I think it's just trying to be nice and not to, if someone says, how are you? You don't want to say, I had a horrible day, I had this happened, and you just say, yeah, I'm fine. But it's good to be able to, sometimes if you have that friend or someone that you can just open up and, release all of that pressure, then it helps a lot.
You have to have someone help you push back that conditioned response.
Yeah, and I think, people use friends a lot. They talk to their friends, but then sometimes you need more help because sometimes your friend can't really give you all the answers. So sometimes it does help to, talk to somebody else. But I think if you can learn to manage certain things when you're a teenager, especially when your hormones are up and down, and you learn to do that. When you become an adult, It's a lot easier when you have bills to pay, you know, a mortgage to pay, a job to go to, and all these other things that, you know, you have to manage your time. You know, things get a little more stressful as we get older. So the more you're in check with how you handle yourself and your emotions in your life, the easier it is when you get older and have a special needs child or have to go through, you know, depression or, you know, deal with substance abuse or anything. So.
And my last question for you actually is, like, with your coaching experience, do you have any parting advice for our audience tonight? Like, living a healthy and peaceful life is certainly the ideal goal. How do you, like, give them the advice to reach that?
I would say my best advice is developing a routine and trying to stick to it. You know, if you wake up in the morning and you take, you know, 5 or 10 minutes to meditate, to pray, to journal, to read, whatever it is, just to kind of like set yourself straight. Because sometimes people wake up and they're thinking, I have 100 things to do. But if you just take a few minutes to, you know, regulate yourself, and then, you know, you have a routine of eating a healthy breakfast. You have a routine of, you know, eating a healthy lunch or dinner, or a routine of, you know, exercising, you know, a couple times a week and just sticking to it. So I think, you know, there's all these, you know, mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health. If you try to balance all those things with certain activities and stick to them. Of course, you have days where, you know, you're on vacation or something happens and you can't stick to it. But if you start to develop like a good routine and stick to it, it'll help you in the times when you're the most stressed.
Awesome. I think that's all the questions.
Okay,
Thank you
sounds
so
good.
much for joining
Thank
us.
you. Thank you for asking me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And back to our host.
Thank you guys so much. Here you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Thank you.